What if I told you that the most powerful businesses in the world don't shout, don't advertise loudly, and don't even want your attention? They don't sell products you can touch, yet they influence what you buy, what you believe, how you work, and even how your country grows. They operate silently behind screens, supply chains, data flows, and financial systems shaping modern life without ever asking for permission. Most people think business success is about big factories, famous CEOs, or viral brands. But today, power has changed its shape. The real winners are not always visible. They don't dominate headlines, but they dominate systems. In this documentary, Kiyo Documentary takes you deep inside one such modern business ecosystem. Not a single company, but a model of power. A model that explains why some firms grow endlessly, why others disappear overnight, and why entire economies now depend on a handful of invisible engines. Stay till the end, because once you understand how this system works, you'll never see business, money, or your own job the same way again. For most of history, business was simple. You made something, you sold it, you grew slowly. Factories, machines, labor, land, these were the foundations of wealth. In the 20th century, giants like Ford, General Electric, Tata, and Mitsubishi ruled through physical scale. More factories meant more power. More workers meant more output. But this model had limits. Factories could be copied. Workers could unionize. Capital could move elsewhere. Then came the digital age, and with it, a quiet revolution. Suddenly, value no longer lived in machines. It lived in information, coordination, and control. Businesses that understood this shift didn't just improve efficiency, they rewrote the rules. The most powerful modern businesses don't sell products. They sell access, platforms, and dependency. Think about it. You own social media, you live inside it. You buy cloud services. You depend on them. You use payment systems. They decide how money moves. These companies don't compete on price. They compete on ecosystem control. Once you enter, leaving becomes painful. This is not accidental, it's engineered. Let's examine the platform model, the backbone of modern business power. A platform doesn't create everything itself. Instead, it creates a space where others create value, while the platform quietly takes a cut. Ride-hailing apps don't own cars. Marketplaces don't own inventory. Content platforms don't create content. Yet they earn more than those who do. Why? Because they control data, rules, algorithms, visibility. The platform decides who gets seen, who gets paid, and who disappears. This is not just business. This is governance. Oil can run out. Data never does. Every click, pause, scroll, payment, and search is recorded. Not to spy, but to predict. Modern businesses don't react to consumers. They anticipate them. They know what you buy next, when you quit your job, which ad will influence you, which price you accept. Data allows businesses to reduce uncertainty. Uncertainty is the enemy of profit. The company that predicts behavior controls the market. In traditional business, growth slows with size. In modern platforms, growth accelerates. This is called the network effect. The more users a platform has, the more valuable it becomes. The harder it is to replace, the cheaper it gets to operate. Competitors don't lose because they're bad. They lose because they're late. Once a platform crosses a critical mass, the game is over. Here's the most confusing part for outsiders. Many powerful companies don't show profits for years. Some never do. Yet their valuations explode. Why? Because modern finance doesn't reward profits, it rewards future dominance. Investors don't ask, "How much money do you make today?" They ask, "How impossible will it be to compete with you tomorrow?" Losses are tolerated. Control is not negotiable. This new model creates efficiency, but also fragility. Jobs become flexible but insecure. Growth becomes fast but unequal. Workers are no longer employees. They are partners, creators, drivers, or users. Responsibility shifts downward. Control stays upward. Entire economies become dependent on systems they don't control. Traditional laws regulate factories, land, and labor. But how do you regulate algorithms? Platforms operate across borders. Data flows ignore sovereignty. Governments move slowly. Technology moves instantly. This creates a power gap and businesses step into it. Not through force, but through convenience. The next phase is already here. AI-driven decision-making, automated management, self-optimizing businesses. Companies won't just predict behavior, they'll shape it. The invisible engine will become even quieter and even more powerful. The most important business lesson of our time is simple but uncomfortable. Power no longer looks like power. It looks like an app, a platform, a system you use every day. The question is no longer, which company is the biggest? The real question is, which system do we live inside? If you understand that, you understand modern business, and if you don't, someone else profits from your ignorance. This is Kiyo Documentary, and this was The Invisible Engine.